Happy Thursday. I'm meteorologist Diane Phillips, and we've been working with lake effect a good chunk of this week, and that has not really changed for us. You can see that firing on all cylinders, are Great Lakes, as we have rain and even some snow trying to come down in parts of the mitten. Here at home, you can see that we have a little bit of that, well, green and blue, but thankfully we just have enough dry air to where it's evaporating before hitting the ground. But the clouds, however, those are still sticking around, as you will find cloudy conditions for today, but improvements come our way tomorrow. You will have your sunglasses ready to go for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Even into Monday, we're still looking at partly cloudy skies, but really going to be in those golden colors to get us through the weekend, and perfect timing to see a dry forecast. But by the time we do see some wet weather, that is going to be next Tuesday, as we'll be watching for a system into the middle of next week. Now, when we look at our hour-by-hour forecast, though we have the cloud cover for us today, you're going to find that, well, it's still chilly. Those clouds providing us a little bit of a blanket, but yet not allowing that sun to warm things up for us. And yet, keep an eye on temperatures, because southwest winds are going to take over in our forecast and allow for a little more warming as we head into Friday. Skies also going to be brighter, so the sun going to do some warming. So we will finally be on a much warmer note as we head into Friday, taking temperatures into the upper 60s, even maybe close to 70 degrees. So we will take that in October, and even more heat though to come for the weekend. You will find, thankfully, no green on radar by the time you get to the weekend, but when you're headed out to go and enjoy the nice weather, you'll have the hourly forecast with temperatures, sky conditions, and then on that daily tab, you're going to be able to, of course, keep an eye on the weekend forecast. But coming up soon, Saturday, that's when you're going to want to keep an eye to the app, because that's when we will have a forecast for October 31st. So yes, Halloween, and a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on that forecast, especially if you're trying to figure out how many layers underneath your costume. Now, the weekend, we've been forecasting temperatures into the 70s for a while now. Since this Saturday and Sunday time frame has been on our 10-day forecast, we haven't seen much as far as a change. So for your Friday, going to be close to that 70-degree mark, highs into the upper 60s, plenty of sun going to be in the forecast, and we'll hold the sun into Saturday. It will be warm as temperatures are into the mid 70s, and you will be able to go apple picking, pick out that pumpkin, or enjoying our peak fall color that we have going on. And even Sunday, when you're out and about, just be mindful that it is going to be breezy. We have southwest winds. That's going to be transporting the warmer air in. So though it's going to be breezy, the trade-off is that highs are going to be into the mid 70s. So it's a great weekend. Make sure you're making plans, because you're going to want to be outside for that. Now, the stretch of 70s that we do have coming, it doesn't last very long, but thankfully we did time it out on the right time for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You'll even find Monday, that's kind of our peak of the heat, before then a cold front sweeps in and gets us back to reality. You'll find highs as we get in towards the middle to later half of next week. Those will be into the upper 60s, and that following weekend, not looking as warm, but hopefully looking just as nice, because that will by then be Halloween. And now when we look at the daily almanac, since our temperatures are a little bit up and down, where should we be? Well, average highs this time of year should be around 63 degrees. So with us spending quite a few days in the 40s, 50s, you can see that we haven't quite been close to where we should be. But our lows have been lagging behind as well. Of course, with cooler afternoons overnight, we really, of course, are not going to pick up much heating. So you will find that we've been at least 7 degrees below average, and that's where we were this morning as far as our start to the day. So just keep in mind your average high should be around 63 degrees, 43 degrees for your low, and yet we're going to be a little bit warmer than that as we get into the weekend. Looking at records, thankfully we don't have this record low back in 1972 of 18 degrees, but in 1920, 82. That was the record high. So heat, it can happen in October, but it doesn't come all that often. You also keep in mind sunset. That is before the 7 o'clock hour at 6:46 p.m. tonight, and we are losing just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds each day of daylight. So it's definitely noticeable that that sun isn't out as long. Now on a day like today, when we're going to have the clouds, sun's just not even going to be much of a topic for us. Now the steady breeze, you're still going to be feeling that, as highs are still, well, below average and a little bit sluggish, sitting into the lower 50s. And also, before I get to that extended forecast, I said you're going to want to keep an eye to the WTOL 11 weather app. We're 11 days until Halloween, and our forecast has 10 days on it. That means that we are getting close to having that October 31st forecast, so keep checking the app. That's going to be the first place that you're going to want to look, and keep watching that Halloween forecast if you're going to be trick or treating. So looking forward to a little bit of fun as we head into that holiday. Now, as you look at your extended forecast, you will find highs tomorrow back into the 60s and then the 70s for the weekend. Dry, sunny weather to come starting tomorrow and even into Monday. It's Tuesday and Wednesday that we are watching for some showers. Rain showers will be moving in along a front in a system that'll be here towards the middle of next week. That'll take temperatures back into the lower 60s, but as we wrap up this forecast, we have dry weather. So that is a good trend that will be carrying very close to that Halloween holiday. You can see that we're still missing 2 days until the 31st on this extended forecast. So like I said, keep an eye to the WTOL 11 weather app. We'll have updates not only for this fantastic weather weekend that we have coming, but also for the great weather that hopefully we will have on October 31st.